Hello again, and welcome back to the Domesticated Nature channel. Once again, this is Ben. Thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to make a video on watering and humidity. The reason plants need water is to help convert sunlight into energy, and it also helps to bring nutrients from the soil up to the plant's body. Now, there are different ways to filter your water before you give it to your plants. The reason you want to filter water is because of the impurities in your local water. These impurities are known as TDSs, or total dissolved solids. The first way I'd like to discuss with you is distilled water. Distilled water is absolutely pure water. It is reduced to only hydrogen and oxygen. There are no impurities in it. This is a more expensive route to take because of the impurities in your local water. The filtering to reduce water to its purest state is a little more expensive, and because of the impurities, your filters will clog faster than other routes you can take to filter water. If you want to try distilled water, you can buy it at your local drugstore. I bought these gallons at my local Walgreens for about $1 a gallon. So if you wanted to try that route, this is absolutely pure water. Another way you can filter water is my preferred method here. As you can see under my sink, I have an RO water filter. RO stands for reverse osmosis. Water is forced through a small membrane, and different levels of TDSs in the water are filtered through different filters here. This is a 5-stage filter. It's not as pure as distilled. However, it's around 90% pure. Most RO systems take out between 70 and 95% of the impurities in your local water. The way this system works is it taps directly into my water supply, and through a system of hoses, it pumps through all these filters, 5 stages, and fills up this 3.2 gallon reservoir. When there is water in the reservoir, I can then turn on my faucet that came with the kit, and I have RO water on tap. And this is what I use to fill up my buckets that I keep. I keep 5-gallon buckets of RO water because this can only fill up about 3.2 gallons every few hours. So I keep some 5-gallon buckets just on hand in case I need more than 3.2 gallons at a time, because I have a lot of plants. This particular system I got from Amazon. It was a pretty good deal. However, I didn't know until after the fact that my local pet store actually carries RO water filters, and had I known that, I probably would have bought one from them, because they've always been very good to me. And on that note, if you live in the Oshkosh area, you should check out Aquarium Pets on 8th and Knapp. Very nice people there, very knowledgeable, and even if you're not in the market for an actual RO filter, they sell RO water by the gallon. As long as you bring in your own buckets, they'll fill them up. However, like I said, I got this one from Amazon, and so far it's been pretty good. Initially, there was a lot of carbon in the water. From my understanding, you're always supposed to rinse carbon filters before you use them. The instructions said if I ran it for 10 minutes, it should eliminate most of the carbon. It took more than 10 minutes. It took quite a while to get the carbon out of the system, but now I have some very pure, very fresh smelling water that I keep in my buckets. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about today was humidity. Now, plants need humidity, high humidity, because their leaves have tiny little pores in them, and when humidity drops to a certain point, the pores start to dry out, and it's hard for a plant to bring water all the way up from its roots to the top of the plant and into these leaves. So plants need a higher humidity to maintain nice, healthy looking leaves. The average household humidity is around 30%. Even desert plants, such as cacti, aloe vera, things like this, prefer at least 40%, but most houseplants prefer between 50 and 60% humidity. It can be difficult to do this, especially at certain times of the year when it's more dry. Excuse me. One way that I maintain a higher humidity is with a vaporizer. The vaporizer basically just pumps steam into the air, and over the winter I had a 70% humidity in my house, which is good for the plants but not for the house because my windowsills are wooden, and 70% humidity put all kinds of condensation on my windows, which then drip down. So if you're going to go the vaporizer route, be sure that you're aware of your humidity levels. If you keep it around 50%, you should be okay. But once you get up towards 70%, yeah, you're going to have condensation, and it's going to be messy. So that's one way you can do it. In the summer, it's not as bad as in the winter. Humidity will be a little higher in the summer. But a really simple, basic way to increase humidity on plants is simply to mist them with a spray bottle, give them a light mist. One thing I should note on that matter is that some plants do not like to be misted. It can ruin their leaves, the coloration, and leave water spots. The cyclamen is one that doesn't like to be misted. I've read certain types of begonias do not like to be misted. So do your research, read some books, and look online. Make sure that you know what you're doing before you just go ahead and mist it, because it can damage your plants, certain plants. Another really simple way to add humidity is to have a pot with a saucer underneath. You fill the saucer with stones, and you pour some water in the saucer, and this water will slowly evaporate and increase the humidity of your plant, because it's basically rising up past the plant. So that's another way to increase the humidity to help your plants, especially when they like a higher humidity. Most Calatheas do like a higher humidity. As you can see, some of these are in need of a little TLC. Calatheas, as I said in a previous video, are extremely hard to take care of. So so that's been my video on watering and filtering and humidity. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask anything about RO water. I'm more familiar with RO water than distilled water, so if you have any questions about either one, I can do my best to answer them. I also want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine who has a YouTube channel. It's not about plants, but it's also a pretty good, funny channel. It's called Cooking with Beef. He's a pretty good cook, and he's pretty funny when he makes his food. So if you guys have a chance, it'd be cool if you check that out. Again, that's Cooking with Beef. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. This has been Ben, and this is the Domesticated Nature channel. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.